Hello, hi. If you were to take 2 seconds to look at this channel, you would realize that it is indeed a cosplay channel. However, I have been so deep in my book girly era, and as a book girly, I love the Hunger Games series. And when I saw that they were coming out with the prequel movie, I was ecstatic, to say the least. And when I saw Rachel Zegler in that immaculate bodice, I was even more ecstatic, and I knew I had to make it. So that's what we're going to do today. But we're going to be making it with a twist. I've seen a lot of people on the internet recently doing bleach painting, and I thought that was super cool. So today I want to try and paint the design that is on the bodice from the Hunger Games prequel with bleach. Wish me luck. I would also like to specify that this is not in any way, shape, or form sponsored by the Hunger Games series, but if they wanted to sponsor me, hit a girl up. And before I get into it, hi, hello, my name is Morgan. If you like cosplay related content, feel free to hit that follow button. I would greatly appreciate it. Okay, let's get into this. Okay, so for the actual bodice itself, I made a kind of bodice vest situation for a wedding about a year ago, and I still have the pattern for that. So I'm going to do my best to try and modify this to make it more of a like corset stays kind of look, and I'm going to put that in muslin, which I have right here, and hopefully if that works out, I will end up using that as the lining, because I really don't want to make another lining and no one's gonna see the inside, so muslin it is. And then I have some leftover white bias tape that I'm gonna be using for the boning channels, because I want the boning to only be on the inside layer and not the outside, because the outside will have the decorative bleach painting on it, and I thought that it would be better to keep it only on the inside, but we'll see what I decide to do with that. I don't know if that's the plan that I'm going to go with 100% or if I'm going to change it. And then for the ribbons that tie on either shoulder as well as the bias, I am going to be using this silver grayish ribbon. I didn't like the gray bias tape that I found, and I didn't want to wait for like some silver to come in, so ribbon it's gonna be. I've never worked with ribbon as a bias, so again, experimenting. And then for the outer layer, I have this black thick linen, which I need to do some tests with the bleach, but it is 100% linen, so hopefully we're okay. Fingers crossed. Also, for the boning, I use jumbo zip ties. Life hack: instead of using actual boning, if you're not trying to go for a historically accurate garment or one that actually does like the correct cinching, zip ties work great. And this will last you forever because they're insanely long. As for the bleaching, after doing my research, I got myself some bleach. And this is 4% sodium hypochlorite. They say there's like between 3 and 5, and the more, like the higher the percentage, the stronger the bleach. So, the strongest I could find at my local store was 4.5. So that's what we got. Next, to neutralize, I guess, the bleach, they say you're supposed to soak your project in hydrogen peroxide. So I got myself a bottle of hydrogen peroxide. It's incredibly cheap. It was like $1. So there's that. And then I just needed more brushes. But if you are concerned about ruining brushes with bleach, get yourself some brushes. But yeah, that's everything. We're gonna get into making the mock-up / lining layer. I am going to review some videos. I will also link some videos of people that I've watched if you want like a better tutorial on how to do this. And I will also link patterns if you want to do something more accurate than I am. But yeah, let's get into this. Okay, dokie, friends. So I feel like I've hit a bit of a road bump. I don't really know what I should do with this. Been kind of sitting and contemplating. So I spent way too much time trying to figure out the pattern for the bodice. And I finally came to something that I thought fitted well. And I was going to move forward to figuring out the placement for the boning. But then I was thinking about how I need to pattern the outer layer first. And so I was looking at the original image of the bodice to see how the design is laid out on it. And when I was looking, I realized that my seam lines on my bodice that I had patterned do not really match up with the bodice from the movie. And now I'm trying to decide if I want to rework it or try to just repattern the outside or just start everything all over. I did say that I didn't know what I was doing, so I can't be too upset about this, but I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do. I might call it quits for today and pick this back up tomorrow with a fresh set of eyes and a fresh brain. See what I decide on doing, I guess.
The next day.
Hello. It's the next day. I kind of burnt out last night. For some reason, the pattern for the bodice really was a lot harder than it should have been. I was gonna give up, but then I gave myself a little pep talk, and I picked myself up by the bootstraps, and I finished the outer layer, or the inner layer, sorry. I also decided to go with this purple fabric instead that I had in my stash. It's a little bit more thicker. It's a little thicker than the muslin is, so I thought it would be more sturdy for the boning. And then I also did some tests with the bleach, and oh boy, oh boy. Let me just get that for you. Okay, so here's my little swatchy swatch. I try to do some of the flower designs. I don't really know how to paint flowers. I don't know why I thought I could do this. But I don't know. I think that this one right here, I think that one came out pretty good, that little petal. I tested some different like percentages of bleach. So that's what like this is. But yeah. I don't know. We're gonna do our best today. Oh.
Fatality.
If that's any sentiment of how today's gonna go, I don't know what is. Okay, so this is a better look at what I've got going right now. This is the inner layer that I ended up sewing last night out of the purple material, which I think looks really good. I changed these two panels so that it cuts in on the waist a bit more. You can't really see. Let me fix that. There you go. It cuts in on the waist more, which fits the reference photo a lot better. So I'm very happy with that, and I think I'm going to just place a boning channel down the center, and then on either seam of those seams, and then on either side seam. And I think that'll be it for the lining. And then it'll be on to painting, which, based off of my previous attempt, not very good. So we're gonna do our best here. Leftover white bias tape, which should fit these perfectly. Hello, I apologize for the glare, but this is what we're working with. So, boning channels are in. I pre-cut all of the zip tie boning, and I'm going to round. I did this on one of them. There we go. I need to round all the edges on these so that they don't end up poking through. And then the lining will be officially done. I'll close up the channels once I connect the two together with the bias on the outside. So yeah, and all that's next is to actually do the outside, which I'm the most nervous for, considering how this project has been going. We'll see how it goes. Okay, I'm gonna do a quick checkup. I decided to do another test, so I think this one came out a lot better than the first one, particularly that flower right there. Um, I figured out a technique that I think will work for me. So I think I'm ready to go ahead and work on the final bodice. I'm very nervous. I've seen some people go in with Sharpie and stuff to kind of fix what, like, any mistakes that they've made. There are like these two flowers on the top of the chest that I really don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but um, we're just gonna rock with it. I mean, that's literally the premise of this entire this entire project. I'm just not gonna be scared, and I'm gonna sketch everything out. It seems that once I sketch it, it's a lot easier for me to put it down in the bleach. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to trace out the like outline of the bodice, just so I can get a rough shape of where I need to paint. And then I'm going to paint this whole thing and then cut it apart and sew it together. Wish me luck. Let's do this. All right, so quick change of plans. I had said that I was going to paint everything and then cut out the pieces from like the image that I painted, but I was afraid that if I did that, it wasn't going to line up anymore. So I cut a little piece of the ribbon that I'm planning on using, and the bleach doesn't seem to affect it at all, really. So I'm going to sew the whole bodice together. That way I can paint the whole thing and that way it lines up perfectly. So I've already cut out all of my pieces. Ignore the mess in the back. It has been a chaotic couple of days. And I'm going to go ahead and sew everything together. But first, I need to make the ribbon into some bias tape. So I'm going to do that first. And then I'm going to get to sewing. We're making progress. Okay, that took a lot longer than I anticipated. Again, but here we are. The bodice, the front outer layer is done. The ribbons are sewed in, which was the most challenging part, and they're a little bit wrinkly. But I think once it's stretched out over the like structured bottom layer, it'll look a lot better. So now I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna sketch the design out so I can start painting. Alright, so I want to take a quick moment to kind of explain what I'm doing here. I decided to take a tailor's pencil to sketch out everything before using the bleach. I've seen a lot of people use soap or sidewalk chalk, and those options might be a better idea for this. The tailor's pencil just wasn't transferring very well onto the fabric, and it was coming off really easy. Like if I accidentally brushed my sleeve over it, I would have to go over that area and redraw the design on. I also want to mention that I did end up using no splash bleach. It's a little bit thicker than normal bleach, and I think that if this is your first time doing this, I would recommend using that kind of bleach because it's thicker, so it doesn't splash or doesn't drip off your paintbrush, and there's not a lot of bleeding with it. I also want to mention that I did dilute my bleach, so I had 1 cup that was 100% bleach, which I used for all these lines that you see here, and then I had a cup that was 75% bleach, or 3 parts bleach, 1 part water, and then I had one that was 50% bleach, so 50% bleach, 50% water, 1 part bleach, 1 part water, and those 2 cups are what I used to go in with the shading.
One eternity later.
Hello. It is a couple days since the last time I filmed this. We're in the same hoodie. We look almost the same, but it has indeed been 2 days. I finished painting. I didn't get a chance to really film the whole process of painting everything because unfortunately I ran out of storage. So, and I didn't realize until I was like basically done with it. But we finished painting it. I neutralized it with hydrogen peroxide, soaked it in there, rinsed it out, and I let that air dry overnight. Um, I didn't really get a chance to get to work on anything yesterday, but we're back today and we're on the last stretch. All I need to do is sew the lining and the outer layer together, add the ribbon bias all the way around all the edges, and then add all of the eyelets in and lace it up, and she'll be ready to go. I'm really excited to finish this up. So I'm going to get to that and then we can get to the final reveal. All right, final thoughts. I am actually really happy with how this came out. It was definitely a little bit of a journey, but I think I managed to do pretty well. This is kind of the first time I've ever done any sort of relevant to like a period type of garment, and I'm really happy with how it came out. The ribbon was a little bit tricky to work with, but I am kind of okay with that. Um, yeah. Thank you so much for those of you who have made it to the end of this video. I appreciate you oh so much. If you enjoyed, please feel free to hop on that subscribe button. It would greatly help this channel. If you want to see more of my face, links are down below. And let me know if there's any other kind of projects that you guys would want to see from me. Let me know any feedback on this video. This is kind of my first time doing a video like this. So, let me know. I'm really trying to expand my production quality and stuff. So if you have any suggestions, leave them down in the comments below. Anyway, that being said, thank you so much for joining me on this cosplay journey, and I will talk to you guys in the next video.